Ballin' niggas on the right, broke bitches be trippin' in the club, wanna fight. Birds of a feather fly together in the club. Got some model bitches with me, twerk, it just for fun.
Welcome once again. Thursday night, Comedian Catch, live on WEMS radio, streaming on YouTube. We're doing the Zoom interviews right now, because we got this pandemic going on. My guest tonight, stand-up comedian, Von DeCarlo.
Hello. What's up?
How you doing? How you doing tonight?
I'm gonna let you get through your intro, but because I know we want to do this a few times, but I'm like, how the F did we schedule this on the NBA opening?
I know.
Here, I gotta sign into a Zoom. I'm bugging.
I know.
I'm already opening.
Nah. I got the TV on too. I was getting my alerts early.
I want to be here.
I got to make sure I don't go, oh, look at that dunk. Oh.
Right? Granted, is it still, I think it's still halftime. I have to look on my phone because my TV, I put it on mute.
Yeah.
I changed the channel by accident.
Yes. 9 o'clock is LA versus LA. So.
Oh, yeah. At exactly 9
o'clock. Yes.
As soon as LeBron is if I see him doing a warm-up, you might lose me.
Oh, okay. Got you. Because AD is playing tonight.
Look, so I don't know about you, but I fell asleep on all the scrimmages. I was like, this is boring. I hate this ball.
No, I didn't play it. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it at all.
And you're talking to a person who had tickets to Summer League in Vegas before lockdown.
Oh, right? Wow. Nice.
I like Summer League. I get to the games early because I like watching the warm-ups. I like everything about basketball, right? These scrimmages was like, somebody just give me coronavirus so I could go to sleep for These games are so boring. But I was
Who's your favorite player?
Today, and they have the little virtual audience and stuff, and I was like kind of excited.
So who's your favorite player?
LeBron. I have a lot of I'm a Knicks fan. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
Everybody is. It's it says a lot about who you are as a person, how you if you're out on a date with someone, just ask them, this is for the ladies. Ask the guy first date who his favorite team is. And if he flip-flops around with that answer, he is a flip-flopping ass dude. And if he says he's a fan of the Knicks or the Mets or some whack team that nobody should be a fan of,
that he's real.
Loyal, he's a keeper.
So being that the NBA started tonight and went on tonight, I'm going to chop into Lou Williams leaving the bubble for some wings. What are your thoughts on that?
I have been talking about this NBA bubble since they first announced it. I said day one, I don't think it's going to work. I root against my own predictions all the time. I want it to work. Considering the state of the world we're in, sports feels good right now, right? I want it to work. I'm not rooting against it. But I said, I don't know how they're going to contain this whole situation. And day one, I said, someone's going to have a Dennis Rodman moment.
Yes.
And he started with Lou Will. So he said he just went in to get food. They must have wings to die for, literally. I don't know if, see, here's why.
I saw a picture of the wings. I was like, ooh, these wings look good.
Look, wings and titties will take your life any given Tuesday. So I was like, how is this bubble really going to work? And even they have in the schedule for August, there's a certain point where they, their family and their immediate family and stuff is invited to the bubble. So I'm like, why are we Like, first of all, let's take it back a little bit more.
Well, he has 2 girlfriends, so he couldn't
No,
wait.
with the 2 girlfriends.
Oh,
Unless he got
yeah,
to replace the old one. I thought he broke up with one of the 2.
Oh yeah, he did break up with one of them. My mistake.
Yeah, so he just has the one, and I think he has a baby and all of these things. But
Yes.
anyway, just in general, with the bubble, at a certain point, like I think in the later on, like in a couple weeks, they're allowed to invite people. So I'm like, how are they going to contain this? But even before that, you have to think about, first of all, Florida's a hot spot. You're talking about they have people that are working there, right? So how the people that work at Disney that's servicing this bubble, they're not spending a night in a bubble. They're going home. So they could possibly be bringing coronavirus back. It's very scary. I pray for all of them. You know, like 14 players from the Marlins?
Yeah, it's 19 now. It's 19.
So this is what I'm saying.
Went up to 19.
If LeBron or J.R. Smith come up sick, I'm going to Florida myself, and I'm fighting everybody. You gonna catch these hands?
No, well, you know, J.R. Smith got that Henny on deck, so he's good.
I'm
all
not
day.
Sure if Hennessy kills the virus or inspires the virus, but
that should be interesting. I'm dying to see him and Dion Waiters on the same court together.
Well, I think we'll see that tonight, right?
Yes, we will.
I hope so. I mean, with Lou Will, and I think, who was it? Patrick Beverly had an excusable absence to attend for family stuff. Doc Rivers was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna have a whole roster.
No, he's not. He's just gonna have Kawhi and PG-13. That's it.
Quiet. I'm surprised. I was like, look, we all know that Kawhi Leonard will happily sit out. How long did he sit out? Like, I'm not healthy yet. I'm good. I'm surprised. Like, he left for a minute, and then I believe he went back. But when he left, I was like, I told y'all, Kawhi ain't fucking around with no coronavirus.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I gotta get my hair braided. Screw this.
I'm pretty sure he brought somebody to braid his hair because, I mean, how are you gonna? The point is, how are you really gonna contain this? I hope that it all works out. I do believe that LeBron and company will be taking the championship. And
unfortunately, I'm very upset about that, but yes.
Like, oh, is it a real ring? Is it a real championship? Absolutely. Sorry to cuss. Am I supposed to not cuss?
No, you're okay. You're okay.
My whole thing is, I don't care who wins, but I hope LeBron wins. So yeah, I do care who wins. I want LeBron to win. But here's the thing. Whoever wins, I am proud that they were able to figure out how to even play basketball in the state of the world we're in, from the social injustice to the coronavirus pandemic. Whatever team gets this ring is absolutely a real ring, and it's probably better than any ring, because what team ever in life had to figure out how to win a championship amongst the state of the world that we're in right now?
Yeah, you basically putting your life on the line for this ring, like.
Exactly. And so
titties. I feel like
titties.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new combo now. That's gonna be the new combo: wings and titties.
Oh, you want the Lou Will? We got the Lou Will.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith brown juice with that? Got you.
Because they had the meme and said titties over titles.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's hilarious.
Titties over titles.
Titties over titles. Well, there you go.
So we're talking with the Von DeCarlo. I see you have a podcast.
Yes, Coach Von podcast.
And I see that I was watching it, and I see that you have entitled bitches. What is an entitled bitch?
Entitled bitches?
Yeah. You had a video of your stand-up on there where you had a first date.
Huh?
you went on a date with your man. You had a little scene in there, and it said he called you an entitled bitch. You know, you entitled bitches.
Oh, you're not talking about my podcast. You're talking about True TV's Laugh.
Yes,
Laugh.
yes.
Oh,
True TV. Yeah, sorry.
anything on my podcast about that. Oh, that was when I did Laugh Mob Laugh Tracks on True TV.
On True TV.
Yeah, Cypher Sounds show he hosted, and comics tell, do stand-up storytelling, and then they reenact it. So
yes.
I told was, about I prefaced it with I should be, ashamed of telling a story because I consider myself refined ratchet. Like I got the Beyonce graceful side to me, and I got that Solange bitch in the elevator, catch these hands and all this.
Yeah.
So in that particular stand-up story set for Laugh Mob Laugh Tracks that they reenacted, I was talking about this one time I had me and my man at the time went to a restaurant, we ate.
Yes.
Now it was in a mall area, and you know how sometimes people just walk not on the sidewalk. They just
right.
And I'm like, why do people do that? It infuriates me. And on this particular day, these two women, two big white women, was walking like they didn't even see us in a big ass truck behind them. So I'm looking at him, well, beat bad on something. Like I'm getting impatient, infuriated. And he was just looking at me like with a calm face, and I'm getting mad. And he's just like, that's what y'all entitled bitches do. So that pissed me off anymore. I'm like, you grouping me in with these two? I would never do something like that. Now we are, well, I'm arguing. He's just looking at me like, why are you barking? So anyway, finally they get onto the sidewalk and we're able to ride past. And I had leftovers from the restaurant in a bag. And I rolled down a window and I threw my pasta out the window at him. So we get, a few feet ahead, and he stops the car and he puts on all the child safety lock stuff so I can't roll up the window.
Right. Oh, you screwed.
And he was like, oh, you so bad, you so tough, handle your business. And here comes white girls coming up to the car. Ah! So I'm like, oh shit, what would Beyonce do? And they got to the car and I was like, I am so sorry. That was inappropriate, my bad. And he pulled off, saved me from the beat down.
Right.
He was just like, what, first of all, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're better than that. You're bigger than that. Your daughter's in the car.
So
daughter's in the back seat. My daughter was young at the time. She's in a car seat, like not a booster seat. She was older than a baby. And it's like bottom line, and this was the all jokes aside life lesson, really. Women, we may get our men in trouble all the time.
Not sometime, all the time.
Down. And his whole thing was like, look at where we're at. These are two white women. If they call the police, y'all get into a rumble and the police come.
Oh, you know who
they shot. Me. I'm getting shot. The big black guy that looked like I'm trying to kill all y'all. Some high yellow black chick and two white girls, they killing me. So why would you put yourself at risk, put me at risk, put your daughter at risk, because you're being impatient and ratchet as fuck. Like I said, I'm refined ratchet. I've worked, but sometimes that projects jump out of me. And that was a teachable moment that I made into a bit that ended up on that storytelling show. And I think that's what you saw. But it was a moment, even in today's environment. And this was many, many years ago. This was more than a decade ago that this happened.
Oh, and wow. Okay.
Probably like, I want to say 10, 15, somewhere between 12 and 15 years ago. It's a long time.
Okay.
But still relevant today, right? With everything that's going on.
Yes, it is.
Being mindful of how your own impatience and your own ratchetness can get you caught up into a situation that your grace and your patience may save you from. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even like women getting men into trouble, like arguing with other men. Like,
Right.
oh, this dude ain't about to fight you, right? You running your mouth. He about to have to, your man is like, God,
Oh, damn, so you won't stay quiet. Like, damn. Why ain't get one of the quiet ones?
right.
They don't like, because we don't like the quiet ones. we like the little bit of crazy chicks.
But mature, right? You get old, and you have to, not everybody matures, but you live and you learn, right? Know better, do better. And at some point, the things that we were and the things that we were attracted to when we were younger, we become smarter. Like, what's her name was just talking about Megan Thee Stallion getting shot. What's her name? Drea. You saw
Drea,
that?
yes.
Now, my hood ratchet ass self knew exactly where she was coming from with the whole, I want you to love me so much you shoot me.
then she got shot and she's like, oh, snap.
Right. That shit ain't cute.
No, it's not.
You know, domestic violence on any level.
I know they were clowning her online saying that she had a dick.
Not equate love. But my younger inner Solange.
Elevator.
The elevator catch all the smoke on. I know exactly where she's coming from, but that shit at some point you have to mature out of, and it's not cute. It's not call back to Lou Will, right?
Lou Will.
Titties over there. This is what's it. There is no amount of titties in Magic City that is worth risking. Fuck the title. Your life, your life, your
right.
friends and family's life. No wings and no titties.
Do you feel like you have more patience now or back then?
Absolutely. I'm a person that has worked on herself. I have a lot of self-awareness. I know my flaws. I'm familiar with my flaws. I'm not a person that's afraid to say I was wrong or apologize, or even like in that teachable moment that I'm a comic, so everything becomes material in my head at some point. But
yes, it does.
That laugh tracks bit that you brought up and I just regurgitated. I
was dying at that bit.
Him all night and be like, you supposed to be on my side. If the police come, they come. I could have next shaped my ratchet ass attitude through that whole thing. But you know what? I was like, I was wrong as fuck. When they were coming to the I was wrong when I did it. I should have way more control over myself than that. I am better than that. I am more mature than that. I should absolutely have more patience, knowing that somebody else's stupidity does not have to bring me down to that level, right?
Right. But when did you realize you were wrong? When did you realize you were wrong?
In that moment. In that moment, I was like, yeah. I wasn't arguing back. I was like, that was wrong. That was wrong. And I've never done anything like that again.
Oh man, I don't blame you. When I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is a life lesson to everyone, male or female.
Yeah, and the thing is, to further answer your question about patience, you don't just get wise as you get older just because you get older. There are people in their 50s and 60s that still have the same mentality.
Yes.
Slower at it. So it's work. My daughter is 21 years old. And
oh wow. You don't look like you have a 21-year-old. Wow.
We have to go over specifics. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, if I had my daughter right now with the life experience and the new patients that I've gained over the years, I will be killing it.
Right.
Right. So, but they say youth is wasted on the young, right? You
Yes,
can't
it is.
go back in time and redo everything. But do I think that, like, if I had a baby today, with my experience raising her and the patience that I've grown as a woman and as a mother, et cetera, in life, I would be phenomenal. But my older physicality is like, bitch, my baby, what you doing? So I've taken the time with myself to learn and grow and admit my mistakes, business wise, personal, professional.
Right.
I have zero qualms about being accountable because I know in the end I'm going to win even if I took a loss, because I'm going to learn something and not do that shit again to the best of my ability.
So tell everyone again about your podcast. Where we can find your podcast at.
My podcast is Coach Vaughn Podcast. And you could go to coachvaughnpodcast.com, or if you're lazy, just Coach Vaughn, VON. But it's a podcast. It's I love basketball, and there's a picture with me holding a basketball, but I think it slightly confuses people. The idea of the podcast is I don't talk about basketball the whole time, or
no, you don't
talk about it at all. The concept
talk about life.
So I use sports entertainment, current events, pop culture, whatever is going on, to anchor into real life shit. Like how we're having a discussion about
right
that we just talked about. That's essentially my podcast, but it's just me. It's a stream of thought, talking directly to the listeners.
Correct. And sorry, I just got an alert saying that Zion just passed to Lonzo.
See, this is what I'm saying. How did you get me involved? I changed the date. It was me. Girl shit.
I think we thought the season was gonna end up being canceled once all these numbers kept going up.
I tell you, I was like, this is what bubble. Y'all could try it if you want to.
Right.
I love, because the baseball, Major League Baseball was doing a cardboard cutout thing.
Yes, I see they're doing that.
Just random cutouts. You could buy a seat and an image of yourself to be made into a cardboard cutout. I'm not sure, like the NBA is doing like it looks like digital. If you could buy a seat and be a digital member of the audience and watch, I'm totally trying to figure out how to do that.
Right.
Dope.
Well, I saw a video of I think the Miami Heat were playing, and they put like the video of "Let's go Heat, let's go Heat."
Yeah, they're doing all of that, but look, it's actual audience members.
Yes.
It's cool how they did it. I really like it, and that you could hear the cheering. So I like it. I dig it. I can dig it.
Because all we'll be able to hear is Kevin Harlan and whatever NBA player is there.
Right, like with the scrimmages when I fell asleep with just the fucking squeaky shoes, and all of that. I woke up, I was like, oh, what is this? I was watching the game 4 hours later. That was a nice nap.
Yes, it was. Sure was. So, Ellen, have you heard what's going on with Ellen? The allegations against Ellen?
I haven't read about it, so I can't speak intelligently about it, but I have heard about it. Something about she like harsh work.
Racist. Yes, racist.
I haven't read about it. I'm just recently hearing about it, but yeah. I don't know about it to like go into.
Yeah. Well, I all I heard was, the allegations about her being racist and, hard to work with. And I'm like, oh man, everything's coming out now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about it to comment either way. But yeah, this is the day and age where everything comes out. But it's also the day and age where people just say one thing, and if that catches on, it could very well not be true, but you getting dragged all over the place. It's like, whoa. So I'm the type of person, whatever it is, I like to be as fully informed. I don't like
Formed.
knee jerk react to things.
Right.
You notice, like if you look at a tweet, right?
Yes.
Headline, and you see it. And if you react just to the headline, sometimes you look stupid. Because if you actually read the article, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
mad about was fully explained, but I just cussed everybody the fuck out.
Kind of like if you go online and you look at the link and you see the picture and then you're like, oh, you're mad, but you didn't click on the link. And then
I definitely, being
where's
a
the info?
public figure, a comic, a person out there that want people to be fair to me, I believe in being fair to others. So before I pull out my Solange, I gotta pull out Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? And just go, okay, well, what's going on here? Let me look at it. I play devil's advocate. I'm an empath. I have the ability to see
Yes.
all sides of the coin, even if it's against me, and
Right.
try to find some relation and understanding, because at the end of the day, everybody just fighting and pointing and yelling is not solving
No, it's not.
conversations. That is where real change can happen. So, in the great words of my mother, my grandmother, and Jay-Z, I don't argue with fools, because from across the street, you can't tell who's who. But if someone...
That's so true.
Absolutely. But if somebody really just doesn't know, and you're dragging them and they're like, wait a minute, I didn't even see, can somebody explain to me what's happening in a way that I don't have to defend myself? Maybe I'll have it, I just like giving people a chance.
So,
but if you a Confederate flag waving news,
oh yeah, we don't have no time for that.
Fuck you and all your chances. You're not trying to hear me. I'm not trying to hear you. We don't need to even have a conversation. You're a lost cause. Right. But there's a lot of people out there that are not lost causes.
So did you watch the movie Fatal Affair on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask you what you think about that.
I asked you for talking points. I said it's a lot going on in the world. It's hard to get.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is.
I will definitely be up on it. You back to back got me caught out there.
All right.
Conspiracy against me. You trying to make me look at
No, of course not. Okay, got you.
Things can go left.
Yeah. Yeah, you about to throw the pasta at me. Zoom.
Let's recall, I blamed you for us being on a Zoom today when I'm the one who changed the date.
Do you think Usher versus Chris Brown would be a good versus battle?
Ooh.
I got the attention now.
Let me tell you, here's the thing. I'm one of those people, I hate the competition, especially amongst our culture, like who's better, what comedian is the funniest, it's like, dude, it's room for everybody, especially in comedy. It's a very unique, unless you stealing somebody's shit, their persona and their jokes, your comedy is very individualized. There is zero competition because nobody is me. Even if I have jokes about being a mother, there's every woman that's a comic that's a mother has bits about being a mother, but there's a unique experience. So
yeah, they haven't been where you've been, like
so
it may be similar, but not the same thing.
I hate when I see those things. It's like, who's funnier? And usually a lot of times those the comedian, the greatest, this and that. It really is just a popularity contest. It's like who's the most famous is really the answer when you look at what some people are saying. So with that being said, in the music world, I feel the same way. Like these versus things are fun, but
yes, they are.
I just hope that it's just staying there. Like Chris and Usher are both the GOAT. And if we're gonna do the versus thing, I just hope that it's just increasing their streaming on both ends. Who do I think will win? I think was the question though.
Yes. Well, I said, do you think it would be a great battle? But we can go into who do you think will win? It's tough.
Battle.
It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough. I want to say Usher, but when
Usher got that whole Confessions album, man. Like
the whole Confessions. Thank you. Shut
album
down. But at the
Chris
same
Brown got hits too.
Chris got hits that ain't even his. Like he just breathed on a track.
Yes.
And it's Hitsville. So that's tough. And you can't even say, well, one of them would win because they just start dancing. Because they both could dance. I don't know. I have no idea. I think that would be the ultimate draw. Like that's a tie.
Do you think what was I gonna say? Do you think these three people can match up with Usher? Mary J. Blige, R. Kelly, and who was the third one? Beyonce.
First of all, Beyonce is coming. Beyonce is coming, trending on Twitter. I was like, what's happening? Then I opened it up and I saw the trailer for Black is King and I got chills. I was like, I am an African queen. Like there's, I got chills just thinking about it. Beyonce is never not on time. She is the shit. With that being said, you just asked me to compare a lot of apples, oranges, and mangoes. At least with Chris and Usher, we're sort of comparing apples to apples here. Just
right.
Two different age groups, really. But still very much apples, the same fruit. You throw in Mary and Beyonce and Usher, I'm like, you got apples, oranges, and mangoes. I don't know how we throw that. I don't know how that's a versus. So like Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, apples and apples, that made sense. But
yes, it did. Even though she was annoying.
The only thing that is an apple in that would be R. Kelly. But I also have a question. Me drags. I mean, the remix to Ignition is hard to turn off and mute. But
so I'm guessing you still play his music right now.
Don't be trying to get me dragged. I didn't say that. I said if it comes on, it's hard to turn off. I ain't say I ain't turn it off. See how you do it? No. Next question.
Oh man, why you don't want to answer it? Don't worry.
SpongeBob.
I won't tell.
Look. R. Kelly is an amazing talent, undeniably talented when it comes to music. And I'll leave it at that. All of that other stuff, like I said, you ain't gonna get me caught out there like she said. And so people could take it out of context. So what I'll say is, if you throw R. Kelly into the mix with Chris Brown and Usher, invite Gayle King to do an intervention.
Okay, so if they don't do Usher versus Chris Brown, who can they match Usher up with?
Nobody.
I know it's
when it comes to Chris, I'm just being respectful to Chris Brown and his age group. But at the end of the day, Usher
that's what I said. I feel like you got to put age with age, you know, like.
That's like asking the LeBron and Jordan question almost.
Oh man, don't get me started. We be here all night. I want to see the game.
As soon as King Goat LeBron hits his, I'm like, and off.
Hell yeah! So I see that you got you have a TikTok.
So yeah, I have a TikTok, and
you learned to stop this week. You learned to stop on your skates, also.
So sometimes I bring my random TikToks over to Instagram. But for the most part, when I first logged on and got a TikTok, it just was that place where you could just post whatever you want and it ain't that serious.
Right.
A lot of your colleagues in comedy aren't even over there paying you no attention. You don't have to worry about, oh, should I post this comedy? What is this? What does this attach to something? Like, it's a lot less thought. It's like TikTok is random. It's just fun. And at first I was just feeling very nostalgic and reminiscent of just going outside. Because when I first we were in the early stages of lockdown where it's like, we don't know nothing and everybody's in place. And I started getting cabin fever and going through my phone and looking at all my old vacation stuff.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I got a lot of fun videos. I'm goofy. And
yeah, gotta be.
Stuff that I've never posted just because you don't want to put the wrong energy out there on Instagram. Like, oh, she's in a bikini. So it's not that type of party with me.
Right.
But on TikTok, I just started posting like all my goofy dancing vacation videos and just doing the lip over voiceover.
Voiceover, yes.
Just having fun with it. And I grew my following pretty quickly on TikTok. And it's like a place where you could just post whatever and not really give it no thought and just not even take it.
Right, and they don't flag you for every little thing.
Right. It's like it's not that serious. It's fun.
Yes. So how did learning to stop on your skates go?
Oh my God. Can you see this? Let me see if I can show you this leg. This is how it went.
Oh wait, that is not a tattoo, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a bruise.
That is a bruise.
That's a bruise. And I have a matching one. I have a matching one on my arm. So
oh man.
My TikTok or Instagram, and by the way, all my handles are at Von DiCarlo.
Yes, I was gonna ask you what's your TikTok.
If you go to CoachVonVon.com, there's links to everything: my YouTube, my TikTok, my Instagram, Twitter. But all of it is at Von DiCarlo. But the links are on my website. Really easy. I'm very easy and accessible.
Okay. Can you spell that real quick? Because people are very slow.
Von DiCarlo is up on the screen. Does that stay up on the screen?
Yes, but I'm saying for the listeners.
Oh, for the listeners.
Can you spell it out? Because they're slow.
VON.com and at VONDECA.
No capital C. No capital C, please.
My name.
Don't capital C.
No spaces. Von DiCarlo's a double first name, like Mary Jane, like my grandma, Peggy Sue. It's a double first name. My last name is technically Brown. I just don't use it because it's Von DiCarlo's enough. But before I forget, because I could be long-winded and go off on a tangent.
No, that's all right.
If you look at my social media, right, and wherever you see the skating, wherever you saw it, I got all the gear.
I see that.
The wrist pad, the fucking knee pads. I'm strapped with protection. And my dumb ass don't know how to brake. So now I get bruised up and bust my ass, and I'm bruised up everywhere in between the protective gear.
Cause yeah, you got everybody all fucked up. Like, wait, you're wearing gear and you still got fucked up?
Yo, people love to roast me on my Instagram about little dumb stuff. They roast me about my glasses because I wear the librarian glasses chain. But I don't need my glasses all the time and I get sick of looking for them. So I keep them around my neck. But people, they roast me all my protective gear for my rollerblade.
But I would say that is a good idea for your glasses because a lot of people that wear glasses ask, "Where are my glasses?" And it's right here.
Exactly. Look, let me tell you something. What I know, what my life experience have taught me, people will roast you and make fun of you and then copy you. So count down to everybody with their glittery little glasses chains, whatever, you know where you saw it first. You saw it in the library first, and then you saw me do it on stage.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna say that. We ain't gonna say that. Like, we're not gonna say that. How long have you been doing comedy?
Oh, that's a question that I hate. But I would say consistently, full time, 5 years. 5 years. But
5 years?
Not my first time on stage. My first time on stage doing stand up was the early 2000s. I have a long history.
Oh, Y2K, Y2K.
Yeah. I've had some in and outs of comedy, some setbacks, some discouragement, some, when I don't like talking about it because then in my head, my old school self say, you sound like all the excuses, somebody going to jail, that was.
No.
So the short answer is full-time 5 years, but forever ago.
So I'm gonna ask
stand-up. That's just with stand-up.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna ask a female question right here. How long does it take to put that together?
What? My hair?
Your nice hair, your nice full hair.
I thank you to my mom, my dad, and God above, because I hate doing and figuring out hair. This is literally get out the shower and just let it dry. I don't have anything in it. So
oh man,
I did nothing. This is literally me doing nothing. And I have learned, I wear braids and faux locks.
Yes.
In my eye. Why did you make I don't know if are you familiar with Amina Imani?
Yes.
Very funny comedian, a good friend of mine, love her to death. She used to always do my hair. Anytime you see me with faux locks, that was her.
Oh, nice. I need some.
Watching her and her teaching me how to do my touch-ups when I'm not able to get to her, I knew how to rap and do faux locks a little bit. But when lockdown happened, that was one of the things, because I was, still doing a lot of writing, and I write every day as a comic. Like I'm always in trying to, listen. I record all my sets. I'm always listening back to them and figuring out ways how to cut the fat, all, the responsibility.
Yes.
I'm diligent with that, like an athlete. I model myself after basketball players and the discipline that you have to be good. You can't be unrealistic about your goals. Like Michael Jordan had said, I have a God-given talent, but don't take away the fact that I'm the first one in the gym and I'm the last one to leave. And I don't miss free throws because I fucking throw free throws 1,000 of them a day. That you have to have that discipline, right?
Yes.
Lockdown happens and I have that mentality. I'm trying to, have that, keep the consistency. And then I started getting frustrated because I can't go work out any of my jokes. The process has been halted. And I'm like, Urgh. So I said, I need something else to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to attempt to do my own faux locks. So I watched a few YouTube videos. I ordered the hair, and now I know how to do my own faux locks, and I love doing it.
Oh wow,
I love doing that, but I don't like
that's
my own hair. It annoys me because when you have
right.
hair, it never goes right. But when I learned how to do the faux locks, I was so excited that I learned a new skill. I'm like, yo, Amina, I can do my hair, you know?
Listen, I was so happy when they opened up the barbershops because I had like a mini fro and it would curl up like crazy thanks to my dad, you know, like
But
they were
you know,
like they were like, oh my gosh, you got curly hair. Yeah, this is why I don't let it grow.
do stuff like I've been doing my own nails for years because I'm picky, and every time I find someone that finally does my nails to my liking, they move or something happens and then you can't find that same person. So years ago, I got frustrated and just learned how to do my own nails. So I didn't have that experience on lockdown. Like, oh, I need my hair done, my nails done. I'm very self-sufficient in that manner. And like I said, I have very low maintenance hair.
Right.
It dries like this. It starts out flat, wet, and then especially in the summer with the humidity, it just grows
Yes, it just goes.
a curly little afro here. In the winter, it doesn't get as big. It'll stay like
Yeah, well, there's no humidity. There's no humidity.
a little bit more flat, but still have some volume to it. But yeah, I thank God I didn't have to have that also in my head. Like, oh, what am I gonna do? Like, because I can't tell you honestly if right now, if I had to go to a barber shop like you, if I would have went, I'd have been like titties, wings, and haircuts. It ain't that important.
I think what was annoying me during and I used it to my advantage during the lockdown. People, people at work were like, "Damn, when are you getting a haircut? Like, it's not that serious. Where am I going? Like, where am I going? If it's not bothering me, it shouldn't
But
bother you."
you are doing Zoom shows and stuff like that. Like but that's the other thing about me too. I never wore like a bunch of makeup. I'm like, that shit is exhausting. I can't be doing
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
I've
me
been
neither. Me
lipstick.
neither. Me
I've been
neither.
wearing lipstick since 8th grade. That'll never stop. Maybe a little era. But like the whole painting of the face, I feel like I could be doing a lot of other stuff, like writing, becoming funnier. Like
Right.
I'm a
All of that
female.
is
I understand the challenges with that. So I work very hard for my funny. And I know what I look like. I know the challenges that I have and stereotypes of women not being funny and, oh, she's a Black woman, she gonna talk about sex or just be stereotypical or loud or whatever. Whatever stereotypes you could think of, I'm aware of them and all the challenges that I have. So I love and respect comedy. It's what I am at my core, and I respect the craft too much to not do the work. So I don't have time to be worried about what you think I look like and this, that, and the third. I dress for me. I feel good in what I wear and what I do and how I do it. And if you can't take your hand off my titties, then that's your problem.
so why do you feel like it's more of a challenge as a woman in comedy than a man?
Because of everything I just said. Those stereotypes have been around long before either one of us have even given comedy a thought, before we were even alive, when the early beginnings of the creation of comedy. Women weren't like, oh, like you're gonna tell me you're not aware of the stereotypes that are in
Oh
front of
yes.
and
Yes.
women aren't funny and all of this stuff. Like it's a challenge. And there are some female comics, they may feel like, oh, let me not get dressed. Let me look like I just did laundry and wear a big frumpy t-shirt. But for me, I'm like, I don't judge anybody in their process. But for me, I've been in this body for a long time, and I already know I could put on a garbage bag and get on stage, and whoever is thinking about my ass is going to be like, what that ass do under the garbage bag? It's not going to.
You're not lying about that. You're not lying.
Right. It's not going to change their mentality. So if you're distracted by that, that's going to be who you are. I don't have a problem getting the attention or the laughs on the material and the funny, but I know but that's the work I've put in.
Yes. For me personally, like I don't judge the female comedians because, you know, it's a struggle for them. Not only that, I just want to laugh. I don't care if you're male or female. Doesn't matter to me. As long as you're funny and you're making me laugh, that's all that matters.
I don't think some hosts do this maliciously, but one of my pet peeves, not just for myself, but any female comic about to hit the stage and she's brought up to the beautiful such and such, the gorgeous such and such. No. Don't address my appearance at all.
Right.
Your job unless you and I know each other and we roast each other, we got a rapport and this is what we do and maybe the audiences know it. There's exceptions to every rule. But you should never bring a female comic to the stage addressing the challenge that she already has. Why? And it's not a compliment. I don't care if you think I'm pretty. I really don't. I have zero concern with that. My job is to be funny. And we're putting the attention somewhere where we already know it's going to be because of but not saying like, oh, I'm pretty or she's pretty, just being a female alone. So it's not a compliment to her, even if she is pretty and you do think she's pretty. You just kind of marginalized what she is as a comic. Bring her up to her credits. You brought him up to his credits.
Right.
You seen him on this. You ain't say check him out in his gray sweatpants.
How about coming from Harlem or wherever she's from or wherever the person's from?
Right. So
like, just say that, like coming from Harlem, coming from the Bronx.
Important to have a conversation with the host, as a host to have a conversation with the comic. What if their opening joke has something to do with
where they're from?
And the punch and the delivery has to do with a surprise as to where they're from. But you just told them where they're from. So you just killed their punch.
Right.
So the most important thing to do, hey, what would you like me to say? And if they say I'm from Pittsburgh like me, then say I'm from Pittsburgh. Don't say, oh, she's from Pittsburgh and you've seen her on Conan. Maybe I didn't want you to say Conan or whatever.
Right.
What I said. Don't add nothing to it. I remember one time, and it's okay if you forget someone's credits because a lot of times hosts will forget. That's acceptable.
Yes.
I had somebody bring me up. I was doing this talking head show on not Comedy Central, BET. And they said, what would you like me to say? And I said, just BET is good. Going to the stage, you've seen her on, they say every black credit. You seen her at the Apollo or City Hall. They say everything except B. I was broke. So when I got to the stage, I made a joke about that. Like, you said every black credit except for the actual one, BET. And it was a funny moment. So things happen, but the last thing you want to do is bring a female up like, the beautiful. Oh, really? Thank you.
The vivacious.
You set me up to be catcalled. Like, oh yeah. Like, she's pretty, like.
It's very annoying. Like, we have to do better, especially as host.
Yeah,
we have to do better.
Like, when I host, I'm a mother, so I end up being everybody's mama. And if I'm sitting at the table with 10 people and I know one of them, at the end of it, they were like, "Why is she everybody's mother? Like, did she wipe my napkin?" Like, that's my nature. I'm nurturing. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm that way. So when I'm hosting, I definitely baby the room a little bit. You know, I mother the room a little bit too much, and I have fun hosting, but because I have a responsibility to the energy of the room, whereas a lot of hosts might take those moments to work on like new material and stuff. And a lot of times I'm just doing my material to keep the room right and
Yes.
less opportunities and risks, because I want to make sure the energy is always right. I want to bring the comic up to the right energy. I don't want to have to, it's like, let them take the risk. I'm hosting, let them do their thing.
Yeah, that's true. So don't bring Von DiCarlo up to the beautiful, vivacious, anything other than her name.
If you want to catch these Solange hands.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be an elevator either. It's anywhere. On site. On site.
On site.
On site. You getting these hands on site, so don't play with her, please. Please. Let's keep it civil. Keep it civil. All right. We don't want her to have to throw any pasta at anyone. All right. Nope. We don't want to waste no food, especially at a time like this.
Absolutely. I'm very hopeful. As far as comedy has found a way to survive, and the outside shows and stuff like that. I'm very hopeful that my experience in life has taught me that nothing bad lasts forever. I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I have been up and down personally and professionally.
Right.
So many different ways that I have the blessing and the faith to believe that even as horrific as the things that are happening right now, there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to come out of it.
Yes.
It's going to be hard. And a lot of people are dying. A lot of things are happening. There's a lot of injustice. A lot of stuff is messed up. But on the other side of this, I'm happy and hopeful that I'll live long enough to see the fruits of all of this trauma and labor that's going on right now. Nothing bad lasts forever. Just like the amazing moments in life, that doesn't last either. My life experience has taught me that life mostly happens somewhere in the middle. Right. Like the moment we're in right now. There is absolutely nothing happening in this moment that's traumatic, and there's nothing happening in this moment that's amazing. To us, you and me right now, in this moment, everything is just okay. And that's life. You have your ups and downs. We're going to come out of this. Comedy and the world may be in some kind of new normal, and we don't all know exactly what that looks like right now. We're learning as we go. But I think it'll be all right.
Von DiCarlo, I want to thank you for coming on Comedian Cats.
Thank you for having me. I had fun. It was a great conversation.
Yeah. I want to thank you for coming on here. Where can they follow you at again?
My social media at Von DiCarlo. If you go to CoachVon.com, there's links to all my social media. You can please subscribe to my podcast. Please support me there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to I do one-on-ones with people.
Yes.
For the one-on-ones, people really enjoy those. And like I said, don't let the picture confuse you with my podcast. It is not just all basketball talk. It is.
No, it's life.
Life. Ball is life, literally. And I like to make people laugh, but I also like to give whatever life experience I have to conversation. And that's my That's my hopes and dreams, that I'm able to inspire, make people laugh and inspire, make people think through things, and
Right.
whatever the countless amount of I've been through my life, it's given me the ability to offer some type of solutions to people. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a real coach, life coach.
Right.
My life experience just has made me a good third eye to situations, and I love to offer that to people. So, Coach Vaughn,
make sure you follow Von DeCarlo on all her social media. Make sure you follow Comedian Catch, comedian_Catch on all social media. Thank you again for coming on the show. I hope you enjoy the LA versus LA. And before we leave, I just want to tell everybody, Von DeCarlo said it best: shut up and vote.
Yes, thank you.
Shut up and vote. Shut up and vote.
It's very.
Shut up and vote. Yes, we got less than 100 days. Less than 100 days.
There's information there for you. Go to the Instagram, see the Shut Up and Vote post. It's the most latest one up there. Read the information and go to the link to figure out how to make your voice heard. You don't have to risk your life to vote, but you damn sure are risking your life if you don't vote.
Yes. Well, thank you again for coming on Comedian Catch. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Enjoy the game.
Woo, woo.
Good night. Good night.